Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be talking about one of the most important aspects in retailing. So this question normally comes up: what are the three important things in retailing? And generally, you get this answer: location, location, location. So location is pretty crucial for the success of any retailing business. So we give the highest importance to location. People who have excellent locations tend to have advantage over other competitors. Why so much importance is given to location? First, it's consideration for customers' choice of store. So if you are, let's say you are a store located in a bus stand, and people who come to bus stand or traveling from bus stand, the first store that comes to their mind or a hotel that comes to their mind is the one situated inside the bus stand. So that's how you come immediately into the consideration set. Locations are something which you cannot easily copy, and location decisions are also very, very risky. So what is the process of choosing a particular location? Size of the trade area, occupancy cost of the location, cost of the location, the rent and all, pedestrian and vehicular customer traffic at the location, the restriction on operations by property managers, convenience of location for customers. So what is this trade area? Is the geographic area that encompasses most of the customers who would patronize a specific retail site. So let's say market, and the people of that city would go to the market for buying the vegetables. So that becomes your area. So what are the types of locations? We have unplanned retail. In this, we have freestanding individual stores unconnected to other retailers. We have outparcels and merchandise kiosks selling small selling spaces typically located in walkways of enclosed mall, airports, train stations, or office building lobbies. So what are these advantages and disadvantages of freestanding locations? Advantages of freestanding locations: convenience for customers. We'll have very high vehicular traffic as well as visibility. Okay, the cost of occupancy is also very low, and separation from competition. So let's look at disadvantages of freestanding locations. Limited trade area when not around nearby retailers. Sometimes you also have higher occupancy costs at strip centers, usually located where there is a little pedestrian traffic. Next, we look at city or town locations. City or town locations such as central business districts, or also known as CBDs, main streets, and inner city locations. These are generally locations which are costly, and everybody would want to have these kinds of locations. CBD, as I told you, is a central business district, is the traditional business area in a city or a town. Due to its daily activity, it draws many people and employees into the area during business hours. CBD is also hub for public transportation and also large number of pedestrian traffic. Generally located around bus stand, railway stations, main streets, main roads. Then we have the main street, a traditional shopping area of smaller towns or secondary business district in a suburb or within a larger area. Main street have most characteristics of CBD only. The main street, like for example, you can see here, the Khan Road in Delhi. Inner city is a high density urban area consisting of apartment buildings populated primarily by lower income customers. Although income levels are low in the inner cities, most of the retailers achieve a high level of sales volume and higher. So let's look at these city and town locations advantages and disadvantages. Lower occupancy costs, higher pedestrian traffic if you get so. Disadvantage: traffic is limited due to congestion sometimes. Parking problems reduce consumer convenience. Next we have shopping centers. Okay, these are new things which have come in last decade or so. Is a group of retail and other commercial establishment that is planned, developed and owned and managed as a single property. Shopping centers maintain common facilities like parking and all. Most shopping centers have two major retailers who attract significant number of customers. They are known as the anchors. You can look at here. Next, neighborhood community centers, also called as strip shopping centers, and are attached to a row of stores managed as a unit, typically anchored by a supermarket. Advantages of community centers have convenient locations, easy parking, low occupancy costs. On the other hand, disadvantages, you have a very small trade area, it lacks entertainment factor, and sometimes there is no protection from weather, in a sense that if you look at a shopping center, it is the temperature is controlled, it will be an AC, whereas here you may not find it so. Next, we have something called as the power centers. Normally consist of collections of big retail stores or big box retail stores. So they're huge. Like for example, Target, things like that. Next, shopping malls are enclosed, climate controlled, lighted shopping centers with stores on one or both sides of the enclosed walkway. They are classified as regional, where the size of the shopping mall is less than 1 million square feet; super regional, when it is more than a million square feet. India has about 570 operational malls as of 2013, with a total area of 180 million square feet compared to just 225 malls that were up and running 5 years ago. Let's look at what are the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages include wide variety of stores, wide assortment of merchandise made available, shopping along with entertainment. You'll have theaters, food courts, and other entertainment things, bowling alleys, and things like that, gaming centers. Weather controlled. We also have uniform hours of operation, attracts many shoppers. On the other hand, if you look at the disadvantages, generally occupancy costs are very high. Mall control over the business operation. Mall has a control over what operations you run and how you run. Competition can be. Next, we have lifestyle centers. Shopping centers with an open air configuration of specialty stores, entertainment, and restaurants with design and ambience and amenities. You can see these are also big shopping centers. They have a unique configuration. They also have restaurants, specialty stores. Especially, you see, they give a lot of importance to ambience and what kind of facilities are available there. What are the advantages? Parking facilities are good, relaxed open air environment, pedestrian traffic tends to be higher, occupancy cost and operating restrictions are less. On the other hand, disadvantages, you may find a little less retail space, smaller trade areas, attract fewer. Next, we have something called as fashion and specialty centers. These are mainly composed of upscale apparel shops. That means you have heard of these designer labels and label brands, boutiques, and gift shops carrying selected fashion or unique merchandise of high quality and price. Like for example, Tiffany's, Gucci, Armani, and things like that. Next, we have outlet centers. What are these outlet centers? These are shopping centers that contain mostly manufacturers' outlets. Okay. Next, we have theme or festival centers. Shopping centers that typically employ a unified theme reflected in an individual shop designed to some extent their merchandise. So these centers will be basically built around a certain theme, located in places of historic interest or for tourists. Generally anchored by restaurants, and restaurants are the major pull here, as well as entertainment facilities. Generally targeted at tourists, they may also attract local customers also. Common element of these centers is entertainment, although some rely solely on shopping experience as well. Next we have omni centers. As the name suggests, omni centers is a mix. It combines enclosed malls, lifestyle centers as well as power centers. Omni centers are becoming more popular, partly from the desire of the tenants for lower common area, maintenance charges, and growing tendency of consumers to cross shop. So since there is mixed centers, you have mixed merchandise available. People who would like to cross shop, this is a place where they go, and thus they are becoming popular. Other locations that are available: mixed use developments, airports, temporary or pop-up stores, resorts, store within. What are these mixed use developments? They are offer an all-inclusive environment so that consumer can work, live and play in a proximal area. What they do is generally combine several different uses into one complex, including shopping centers, office towers, hotels, residential complexes, civic centers and convention centers. And you most of you have seen this airport. Airport has high pedestrian traffic. Sales per square foot are higher than mall stores, but also you can look that rent is higher here. Hours are longer. In a convenient location for workers. Okay, so since it is inconvenient for workers, the wages are generally here. We also have something called as these temporary locations or pop-up stores. This is becoming a culture lately. Okay, good for businesses trying to create a little hype. Good introduction for new products or stores. Provide visibility for an existing business. Provide additional sales during holidays and special events. You can see like in India, Diwali, you get a lot of pop-up stores selling crackers. And we also have resorts. Resorts are generally places for people who go to relax, for captive audiences, wealthy customers, people with time and money. Other locations that are available: mixed use developments, airports, temporary or pop-up stores, resorts, store within. Hospitals are also becoming a major places where retailing is happening. Earlier, there were just places where your medicine was sold. Now you can see in hospitals multiple options: beverages, food, hotels, and even stores have come up in hospitals. Both patients and guests have time to shop. Necessaries are important for. Then we look at what are the factors that affect location choice: shopping behavior of the consumers, size of the target market, uniqueness of the retail offering. Generally, we look at three shopping behaviors: convenience shopping, comparison shopping, specialty shopping. Second, the size of the target market. For most retailers, the size of the target market and the location of the highest density of the target market will help determine where the business should be located. So, based on what is the size of your market and where the majority of that market is located, people are located, helps you decide what location you want. Estimate maximum number of customers eligible to purchase your product or service. Percentage of potential customers. Estimate number of times customer would purchase the product or a service in a year. Estimate highest density of. Next, uniqueness of retail offering. How unique your offering is. Okay, location does not matter as much because the product is important or unique. If it is very unique, then people will go distances to buy those products. Like for example, Ayurvedic stores. Hospitals are also becoming a major places where retailing is happening. Earlier, there were just places where your medicine was sold. Now you can see in hospitals multiple options: beverages, food, hotels, and finally retail site location. Where exactly? The building. Site means the building where the store will be. Okay, it also involves analyzing a lot of data. So, what are the factors you considered while evaluating the site? Economic conditions, competitions, fit between the area's populations and my retailer's target market, cost of operating. So economic conditions basically, since commitment of resources over long run is involved, it has to be considered. Area's level of growth of population and employment. Like for example, if you look at the IT field in Bangalore, you also have to look at competition because it affects both positively as well as negatively. Then fit between area populations and retailers target market. You cannot have a fancy store in a slum area, and neither can have a normal store in a high posh area. So you have to find a fit between population and the target market. Need to have consumers who fit to your target market. Area should have the right demographic and lifestyle profile. Like you can see in Mumbai, you have the Bandra area. In Hyderabad, you also have a similar area. Next, we also have to look at cost of operating the store. What are the store rentals? The cost of the labor? What is the cost of advertising? In case transportation and shipping costs. Also look at the tax considerations.